From the channel as Dinar Shifters, we bring you an extraordinary moment in global finance, one that is poised to redefine economic perspectives for a generation. Tonight, the air is charged with the kind of energy usually reserved for seismic political shifts, yet this event is purely monetary, centering on the long-anticipated revaluation of the Iraqi Dinars IQDs and the Vietnamese Dong VNDs. For years, these currencies have been the subject of intense focus, held in portfolios across the globe by dedicated individuals and scrutinized by institutional strategists. Now, multiple high-level banking channels and confirmed contacts within major financial institutions are reporting an undeniable transition. This is not speculation. It is the unfolding of a process long theorized and finally put into motion, marking a definitive pivot from potential to reality on the global economic stage. The information flow we are receiving suggests that at a specific time in the local zone, global financial systems began the active processing of transactions, utilizing newly activated exchange rates for both of these currencies, transforming what was once a highly debated speculative concept into a verifiable financial fact. This is a moment being described by analysts and dedicated currency observers as a true monetary moment of destiny. We are witnessing a monumental shift, substantiated not by online rumors or unverified social media whispers, but by direct, real-time confirmations emanating from professionals embedded within the Tier 1 banking infrastructure. The magnitude of this confirmation cannot be overstated. It signifies a systemic change across international clearinghouses and major financial networks. Over the next few minutes, we will be detailing the verified data being pulled from institutional trading screens, cross-border platforms, and the internal settlement systems that decisively confirm this activation. We'll be focusing on which major banks have demonstrably gone live, the bands of new rates being reported, and the critical immediate steps for those private exchange participants, often referred to as our Tier 4 BDRs, who have been diligently preparing for this precise scenario. This is shaping up to be a generational redistribution of global capital, and understanding the operational rollout is paramount for all observers and participants. 2. The anticipation surrounding this development has been palpable for many years, fueling countless hours of debate, sophisticated expert analysis, and fervent online discussion. Yet, it is this night that brings the tangible, real-time confirmation. As the financial day began in key centers across the globe, from the towering skyscrapers of New York and London to the bustling trade rooms of Dubai and Zurich, traders began observing distinct, live rate changes that reflected the new status of the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese Dong. Screens that had long displayed static or nominal values suddenly flashed with active price movements, entirely consistent with the full-scale currency revaluation. This vital distinction is being emphasized by several high-ranking global banking analysts. What is being observed are not merely internal test codes, nor are they placeholder symbols. They represent live, tradable values that have been fully integrated into the verified institutional systems, meaning they are now executable and recognized across the international monetary framework. Senior-level financial contacts are specifically detailing trading activity for the IQDs within a verified band, with initial estimates placing the rate in a range that is entirely consistent with the long, predicted projections for a fully restored international currency. This range aligns with the kind of value expected from a nation poised for major economic growth and stability. Concurrently, the VND is showing a parallel, calibrated movement within its own newly established exchange range, suggesting a deeply coordinated process. The synchronization and scale of these changes strongly indicate that this is not a localized adjustment within one country, but a coordinated global financial event involving multiple banking jurisdictions. It points to synchronized updates to liquidity channels and the activation of new currency routing pathways that span the entire international monetary grid, underscoring the serious, coordinated nature of this development. The public confirmation of this monumental financial event follows a sustained period of increased activity and internal chatter from key individuals across the financial ecosystem, including banking insiders, logistical coordinators, and private exchange personnel. Behind the scenes, extensive preparatory measures have been quietly underway for this activation. According to verified accounts that have emerged, numerous redemption centers within the United States have recently transitioned from standby status to full activation. This crucial operational step involved staff receiving formal notification, initiating rigorous security protocols, and beginning the process of internal system configuration. The entire communication chain within the structured tiered exchange process, from Tier 1 institutions all the way through to Tier 4B participants, has decisively moved from a state of idle readiness into a live operational status. This shift means that the practical aspects of the exchange are now fully in motion as appointment scheduling is underway. The complex process of verifying exchange documentation has begun, and coordination with depository institutions for fund transfer is actively proceeding. Furthermore, independent auditors who are connected to international settlement houses are observing parallel confirmations within the primary digital asset reconciliation platforms, including the SegWFT data streams. The transformation from speculative chatter to confirmed logistical deployment speaks volumes about the level of this long-term pre-planning involved. This monumental effort was likely coordinated among the highest echelons of global financial regulators, national treasury departments, and monetary policy institutions. Such meticulous coordination is critical to ensure a controlled release and the preservation of liquidity stability as public awareness of the revaluation begins to intensify. Essentially, the world is now observing a profound financial transformation that holds the potential to redefine personal and institutional wealth for decades to come. The reactivation of the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese Dong at their newly established international values signifies far more than a mere currency adjustment. It is a powerful symbol of a potential restructuring in the fast global financial balances. For those who have strategically held these currencies, this event could present a rare as generational opportunity, the kind of pivot that has the power to reshape individual economic trajectories, impact family legacies, and significantly alter cross-border capital flows. As the wave of credible confirmations continues to flood in from authoritative sources, experts are strongly advocating for a stance of caution, preparedness, and strict adherence to verified official channels. There's Tier 4B participants, who represent the private exchange group, are strongly advised to remain vigilant for direct, official communication from approved exchange facilities. Patience is also a key virtue in this moment, as the structured, multi-phase rollout is designed for security and must continue to unfold through established, official banking systems. While public media awareness of this global financial event is still limited, momentum is building exponentially, and the multiple cross-country confirmations leave little doubt. The long-anticipated revaluation is no longer a theoretical concept, but an active, enforceable reality. Whether one chooses to approach this as a financial observer or as a participant, this revelation stands as a major milestone in modern economic history, marking the critical moment when speculation finally gave way to undeniable confirmation, vindicating the sustained focus of an entire community on the global revaluation process. This moment's significance cannot be overstated. Financial experts and insiders are universally describing it not merely as a localized market event, but as a truly global phenomenon, with ramifications that extend well beyond the borders of any single nation, the structure of any one currency, or the traditional confines of a single market structure. From the continents of North America and Europe to the economic engines of the Middle East and Asia, the synchronized activity observed across major financial hubs is signaling an unprecedented level of global coordination. Major Tier 1 institutions, including financial giants like Wells Fargo, Chase, HSBCs, and Bank of America, are among the first to have their internal trading screens display the updated exchange values for the Iraqi Dinars IQD and Vietnamese Dong VND. Simultaneously, prominent international financial centers in Frankfurt, Singapore, and Abu Dhabi are reporting equivalent data, reflecting identical and consistent rates. This consistency across diverse continents and a variety of banking networks is highly significant, confirming that this is neither a regional anomaly nor a simple system test or glitch, but rather a vast full-scale global activation of the revaluation protocol. Analysts are emphasizing that this degree of synchronization is exceptionally rare and is typically reserved only for the most impactful monetary events, often those that have been decades in the making. The immediate ripple effect of this confirmation is already being detected across various financial sectors, in currency markets, within cross-border liquidity channels, and in the derivative hedging strategies of major firms. For the dedicated individuals and institutions who have been quietly tracking these developments for years, this synchronized activation serves as a powerful validation of countless months, if not years of research, anticipation, and preparation, proving that the long-awaited revaluation is now as active and enforceable across multiple international jurisdictions. 2. The event provides a rare and fascinating real-time case study into how central banking and international currency systems operate under stress and coordination, with the vice QDs and VNDs serving as the highest-profile examples in recent memory. Beyond the digital screens of global finance within Iraq itself, the revaluation is reportedly manifesting in tangible physical ways. Emerging reports from Baghdad suggest that as new, lower denominations of the Iraqi Dinar are actively circulating at the local level, this action signals a vital recalibration that extends beyond institutional platforms and digital screens and into the hands of the public. When citizens begin using updated notes in their daily transactions, it provides one of the clearest and most verifiable indicators that a major currency transition has officially moved from a theoretical discussion and into as actionable, everyday reality. Market observers are keen to stress that this physical issuance of recalibrated currency is far from merely symbolic. It represents an undeniable commitment from both the Iraqi government and the central bank to fully operationalize the new exchange framework in real time. Banks across the country are reportedly coordinating complex cash logistics with commercial establishments to ensure adequate liquidity, while local ATMs are being systematically adjusted to accommodate the updated denominations. Looking beyond Iraq's borders, analysts are now closely monitoring remittance corridors and regional trade hubs to accurately evaluate how the revaluation will impact vital cross-border commerce, affect foreign investment flows into the region, and alter regional purchasing power dynamics. The introduction of new currency units at the street level is also broadly expected to stimulate greater economic activity and work to restore public confidence in the stability and credibility of the nation's banking system. For financial historians and seasoned currency strategists, this unique combination of has global digital confirmation and simultaneous as local physical circulation represents a textbook example of a meticulously coordinated, multi-layered revaluation strategy, a financial maneuver that is rarely observed on such an expansive scale. For the millions of global participants who have held these currencies, tonight represents a vindication that transcends immediate financial implications. The event is a validation of the sustained patience, the unwavering discipline, and the zest long-term strategic thinking demonstrated by the currency investment community. Many have spent years tracking subtle economic signals, monitoring complex political developments, and patiently seeking out insider confirmations, all while managing expectations amidst decades of intense speculation, conflicting rumors, and widespread skepticism from mainstream financial circles. This culmination transcends the mere act of accumulating wealth. It is a moment that signifies the power of persistence, a testament to belief, and the reward for a disciplined, long-term approach to risk management. Already, social media platforms and private investment forums are becoming rapidly saturated with reports from Tier 4B participants who are receiving direct, official confirmations from verified exchange centers. Beyond the potential for personal financial gain, the revaluation represents a broader, cultural and economic milestone, serving to reinforce the profound importance of global interconnectedness in the complex financial system of the 21st century. Analysts are noting that those who positioned themselves early and adhered strictly to approved, legal, and compliant channels are now positioned to benefit most effectively from the newly unlocked liquidity, while simultaneously maintaining full compliance with essential international banking regulations and requirements. 2. In essence, the current event reflects a rare and significant intersection of opportunity, verification, and absolute legitimacy, setting a powerful precedent for how carefully coordinated currency revaluations might be conducted on a large scale in the future. Leading analysts are framing tonight's developments with essential context and a broad perspective. Veteran global currency strategist Jonathan Myers, for instance, describes the dual currency activation as potentially one of the largest wealth transfers in modern financial history. He strongly emphasizes that Iraq's vast, largely untapped oil reserves, combined with Vietnam's explosive and rapidly expanding manufacturing and export capabilities, provide the ROC solid economic justification for such a monumental and simultaneous recalibration. Myers notes that this event is not purely symbolic. Global liquidity adjustments, sophisticated hedging strategies, and large-scale cross-border investment flows are already actively responding to these confirmed rates. This immediate response is generating immediate opportunities and setting the stage for potential long-term structural shifts within the entire currency market ecosystem. Simultaneously, Sarah Chen, a recognized expert on Asian economic trends, is predicting a significant surge of foreign direct investment into Vietnam within the next 48 hours. This predicted influx is driven by the fact that the recalibrated dong instantly enhances international purchasing power, works to stabilize domestic markets, and provides a powerful incentive for multinational corporations to actively reposition their regional operations. Both analysts are in agreement that the twin revaluations are not isolated occurrences, but represent a deeply coordinated alignment of economic potential, political readiness, and institutional execution. The collective ripple effects are expected to influence global commodity pricing, trade balances, and investment strategies for months, if not years, to come. As trading platforms stabilize their operations and redemption centers continue their process of operationalization, market participants are strongly advised to remain intensely informed, to follow only verified channels of communication, and to carefully monitor the price movements of both the IQDs and VNDs. The coming hours are expected to crystallize the immediate impact and the full scope of this historic financial moment. Michael Rodriguez, a U.S.-based banking consultant with extensive experience in the highly specialized field of redemption logistics, emphasizes that the Tier 4B exchanges are being executed through a system of carefully structured appointments. This process is deliberately designed to minimize confusion, protect the participants from potential risks, and ensure the most orderly processing possible. According to Rodriguez, these appointments are far from arbitrary or casual scheduling events. Instead, they represent a meticulously orchestrated workflow that has been established within all participating banks and verified redemption centers. He notes that cleared funds could potentially begin arriving within a matter of business days for those participants who strictly adhere to the approved channels and protocols, a clear signal that the operational phase of the revaluation is no longer theoretical but is now fully actionable. Tier 4B participants, those individuals and private investors who have been systematically preparing for this moment over an extended period, are advised to remain vigilant, highly organized, and fully compliant with all instructions. Each scheduled appointment is a crucial opportunity to convert holdings both securely and efficiently. The timing of fund availability will be directly dependent on strict adherence to bank protocols, the submission of proper, complete documentation, and procedural thoroughness. Rodriguez further emphasizes that the meticulous structuring of these appointments reflects a deliberate, strategic effort by financial institutions to protect both the SA's integrity of the revaluation process and the security of the investors themselves. The system, from the initial identity verification to the careful inspection of documentation, is engineered to prevent errors, mitigate risks, and foil unauthorized activity. For all participants, this means fully understanding the process in advance, arriving at the center fully prepared with original receipts, valid government issued identification, and verified currency notes, and following all instructions from the banking personnel precisely. In summary, what is currently unfolding is far more than a symbolic financial event. It is a carefully managed operational rollout, one that successfully balances speed, security, and compliance at every single level of the process. This demonstrates unequivocally that global financial authorities are focused on execution rather than simply allowing the speculation to continue. These expert voices collectively frame tonight not merely as a financial curiosity, but as the opening act in a deliberate as multi-decade economic transformation. Analysts and insiders are in strong agreement that the full implications of this revaluation will not be fully measured in months or even just a few years, but will play out over decades as global markets systematically recalibrate and adjust around these newly established currency values and their sustained economic impact. Two, with major banking systems now actively scheduling appointments and verified redemption centers fully operational, the practical hands-on phase of the revaluation is now completely underway. Key international institutions, including Wells Fargo and HSBC, have confirmed that their Tier 4B appointment systems are functioning as designed. Concurrently, HSBC is reportedly extending its operational hours in vital international centers to successfully accommodate the unprecedented level of expected demand. On the ground in the United States, redemption hubs in major metropolitan areas, such as Texas, Florida, New York, and California, are reporting heavy scheduling activity, a clear operational signal that readiness has definitively shifted from the planning stages to active execution. Investors are urgently encouraged to prepare their materials meticulously. This includes bringing as a pristine currency notes, original proof of purchase receipts, comprehensive proof of ownership documentation, and valid government-issued identification. It is a known factor that opportunistic scammers will attempt exploitation during this critical period. Therefore, strict adherence to authorized official channels is absolutely critical for personal security and financial protection. This is explicitly not the moment to attempt shortcuts, pursue private deals, or engage in any unverified transactions with unknown parties. The integrity of the entire conversion process depends entirely on full compliance with the approved banks and established redemption centers, ensuring a secure and verifiable exchange. Two, furthermore, participants are strongly encouraged to engage in detailed and proactive questioning during their scheduled appointments. This should include inquiries about the final exchange rates, the structure of potential structured payouts over time, the liquidity timelines for cleared funds, and all relevant tax implications. Each of these factors may ultimately have a more significant long-term effect on a participant's financial future than the headline exchange rate itself, reinforcing the absolute need for informed and deliberate engagement with the entire banking system. Tonight also marks a fundamental operational transition. The vast banking network has moved decisively from a state of sustained speculation into active scheduling, secure processing, and verifiable delivery of funds. The extended era of expectation, widespread rumor, and mere anticipation is now definitively giving way to measurable, accountable execution. In Iraqi, the legal and administrative structures are finalizing preparations to formally complete the revaluation process through official publication in the National Gazette. This publication will serve as the official, unchallengeable governmental acknowledgement and legal recognition of the currency recalibration. Once this crucial formal step is completed, the remaining skeptics will find it increasingly difficult to challenge the legitimacy and finality of the revaluation, and the expected global media coverage is anticipated to intensify dramatically. Beyond the immediate borders of Iraq and Vietnam, the ripple effects of this foundational event are already becoming observable across international trade networks, global financial markets, and even subtle geopolitical alignments. 2. A strengthened Vietnamese Dong may act as a powerful magnet for a significant foreign investment, effectively recalibrate regional competitiveness within Asia, and potentially alter the dynamics of international trade balances. In the Middle East, a significantly stronger Iraqi dinar may substantially enhance Iraq's economic and financial leverage, both within the global financial systems and in its dealings with powerful organizations like ASOPs, Western markets, major regulatory bodies, and large-scale hedge funds are already mobilizing their resources to respond strategically to the expected incoming liquidity flows, actively anticipating the secondary and tertiary market impact that this event will generate. From both a macroeconomic and an individual participant perspective, the practical, operational, and symbolic significance of these coordinated events, cannot be overstated. This active operational phase provides strong validation for the months and years of diligent preparation undertaken by both institutional participants and the private investors involved. It signals the first tangible, fully executable stage of what has long been theorized as a transformative financial moment for the 21st century. At its deepest core, tonight's revaluation is fundamentally a story of perseverance, discipline, and sustained vigilance. It provides powerful affirmation for those who maintain their conviction despite years of profound uncertainty, market speculation, and often dismissive commentary from traditional financial circles, demonstrating that patience and careful, organized preparation can indeed yield genuinely transformative financial outcomes. Two, however, this sudden access to potentially significant wealth inherently carries its own set of risks and complexities. Investors are therefore strongly advised to approach this moment with a clear sense of humility, mental clarity, and strict financial discipline. A critical step is to surround oneself immediately with a trusted team of experienced legal, tax, and financial professionals who can provide specialized guidance. It is also imperative to establish firm, protective boundaries regarding who is informed about one's holdings and the outcomes of the exchange. Participants must protect their identity documents, original receipts, and physical currency with the utmost care until the official exchange transaction is fully and securely completed. It is essential to remember that the revaluation itself is not the final climax, but rather the opening act of a much broader financial epoch, one that will logically unfold over the course of months, years, and potentially decades of economic adjustment. Our channel, Dinar RV, remains firmly committed to delivering only verified updates, practical and actionable guidance, and essential insider interpretation to assist participants in navigating this evolving financial landscape both safely and effectively. Tonight is an undeniable turning point, a moment that many have anticipated for years, and it represents the beginning of a carefully orchestrated, operationally executed transformation with profound ramifications that stretch far beyond any single individual, currency, or nation involved in this historic financial transition.